What's cracking, traders? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. Today's video, we got some battles for the Hisui Cup featuring the Metal Sound Wormadam sent in from EbbaBear. Thank you, trainer, for sending in the battles. If you'd like to send in battles to the channel for Shoutcasting trainers, pin comment and description below. You can find the link to the Google form. This team is also going to be featuring the ever-present, ultra-powerful Gastrodon. Except it's running Water Pulse in this cup because Earth Power doesn't really have as many targets as you might think. So Water Pulse is actually the preferred move. And to top it off, the Gastrodon's power pales, however, in comparison to the King, Bibarel. Here with a normal water typing, very good core breaker for this cup. Yes, this team is going to have very big problems with Lucario if it's not lined up to the Gastrodon. But let's see how the games go. EbbaBear getting into the first game with Drapion in the lead. Now we're looking to try and play this neutral matchup out and then swap straight into the Metal Sound Wormadam, the opponent in shambles, staying in to try and throw some energy to chip this Wormadam. They do not seem to have a good response to it. They're even staying in for longer. Now at this point, we're very, very happy to be able to know that the opponent might be weak to Wormadam in the back. So it might help to figure out what might be in the back. I have no idea yet. It could be anything back there. I would have expected it would have been Gastrodon, but it could be a Abomasnow is a pretty safe bet to think about what's in the back, just because that's going to be paired with the poison typing being weak to ground, right? You got to have a coverage for Gastrodon. The opponent brings in the Bibarel. I mean, you could have brought it in. This would have been a good matchup for Wormadam because they do resist the metal sounds. But after throwing some energy, EbbaBear is going to see fit to get out into their own Bibarel. Leave Gastrodon to cook whatever's in the back. Hopefully going to do fine. Hyper Fang from the opponent, only doing about 60% to the HP bar of the King. And he's going to let loose his own Hyper Fang here. Hyper Fang going to be doing quite a lot of damage in this matchup, taking out the opponent's Bibarel. They're down a shield, and they're down Sanity in shambles. Drapion looking to fire off a move. We're putting it all on Gastrodon. The opponent surely is ABA weak to Gastrodon. With Licky Licky in the back, easy money, baby. Easy money. This is it. Gastrodon, 2 shields, comes in. Licky better have a Solar Beam and land it through 2 shields. That's the only way you're winning this game. EbbaBear, do they respect the Solar Beam? Absolutely. And they have it! Oh. Is it sad that I actually wish that we hadn't shielded the Gastrodon? My goodness, that would have been so satisfyingly bad. Oh, that's okay. No shielding because they know it's not a Solar Beam. Body Slam ain't gonna cut it. Now going to come in with a Drapion. The opponent is going to go ahead and concede. Good game. Okay. Show me the Wormadam. Let me see it cook. Lucario. Oh! Oh, no, bro. No. Oh. Staying in for one move just to see if it has Force Palm or Bullet Punch. I've seen Bullet Punch Lucarios, man. Wormadam not having a good time now, but it has the neutral hitting steel damage that is the opponent would have brought in the Drifblim assuming they had Bug Bite. So this is actually doing exactly what it needs to do. The opponent is now going to be forced to shield this Iron Head, and Metal Sound pretty quickly getting energy here. The opponent decides not to risk it. They're going to let it go. But now Lucario is throwing energy, and Gastrodon's in the back to line up against it. And Gastrodon, man, that thing's going to have a great time dealing with this Lucario. Lucario, however, going to be going for a power-up punch, looking to ramp up its damage and try to farm down the Wormadam. But they shield the Iron Head. That wouldn't have done that much damage. Now we are, I checked. It's veteran Elo range. So that is not something that, like, this is not, you know, what are they doing? They shield everything because they're low. No, this is not low Elo trainers. This is, everybody plays in a way that they feel is right. There's nothing wrong with that. Rock Tomb, not doing a whole lot. Maybe rocking a little bit of the Bibarel, but is able to make it to a Surf. And we're going to fire off this damage. I am inclusive of all trainers, by the way. I don't care what your skill level is. You're still a trainer. You're cool with me. Surf going to take out the Spiritomb opponent. Now brings in Lucario, but knows it's over. That's going to be a good game. Well played. I always have to be careful when I'm talking because, like, I will get comments. They'll be like, "Oh, what are these trainers doing? It's low elo," but, like, who cares? Who cares? We're still enjoying gameplay, and I'm sorry to use a video to address that, but I'm one take wonder, and I'm not going to redo this, so we're just gonna have to deal with my rants in the middle of these videos. Surely that's what we're here for, and definitely not for the Go Battle League content. Drapion gonna get a shield, though, with that Aqua Tail. And now the Wormadam fires off the Iron Head to try and end the poor Drapion, but it's not enough damage. These Metal Sounds, however, chipping quite a bit. The opponent goes for another Aqua Tail. It won't be enough. Crunch, pretty close. Not risking it. The opponent does full send the Crunch, and in comes Lucario. The opponent has hard swapped Lucario. Gastrodon now comes in to feast upon it. Won't even be able to get to a charge move that matters. This is just a power-up punch. They're not getting to another move here. Opponent hardly able to make a difference with Lucario, but they have 2 shields. Can they come in with the one thing? With the one thing. Bibarel, however, does not have Dark-type Hyper Fang. That was definitely... I had to update it from Greninja. Man, I know they're gonna, y'all gonna hit me in the comments. You know you saw it live. We update it, and now it's fixed. Hyper Fang is a normal type move. Gastrodon going for the body slam bait and gets the shield. What? Bibarel comes in, walls this whole move set. There's nothing here that can do anything more than not very effective resisted damage. Opponent now just looking to get farmed down. This Bibarel's rollouts chunking. They still have a shield. Can they do anything against this Bibarel? The opponent comes in with a Drapion looking to make a catch. The Wormadam comes in and is going to be able to farm down the Drifblim. Opponent not having enough HP. Good game. Lucario's back in the lead in the next game, and we're just in shambles. This thing is not running. Oh my, they really ran into somebody who was running Bullet Punch Lucario with the Bibarel. I could never get that lucky. No, I could not. Every time I run Bibarel in this cup, it gets lined up on Lucario, and they always have Force Palm. Opponent's going to bring in the Dust Noir, another ghost type to bring in against the Wormadam that they just assume has the Bug Bite, but it does not. Metal Sound going to be able to do pretty decent damage along with that Iron Head, but the Dust Noir is going to emerge victorious, and Bibarel's going to come back in and fire off the Surf immediately. Would rather trade away the energy instead of shielding and getting a farm down here, which I don't hate that idea at all. Opponent's going to come back in with that Lucario. They're going to look to stay in. No, they're not. The Gastrodon is now locked on the Spiritomb, but Spiritomb is down energy. And now we can go for the Body Slam. Opponent's likely going to throw the Rock Tomb knowing they're going to get a shield. And the opponent's going to shield up as well because they want to be able to shield the potential full damage of the Water Pulse or Earth Power. And we're calling the Rock Tomb bait because there's absolutely no chill. EbbaBear knows it, and the opponent is in shambles. 2 shields down to 0. Now, here's the thing, though. Is Bibarel going to have a Surf ready? No, it's not. It's going to have to take the Rock Tomb debuff. And it's no shielding. Huh? Rock Tomb does quite a bit of damage. The opponent comes back in the Lucario. Oh, shielding, surely. Oh no, this is going badly. Can we farm down the Lucario? Not with that little HP. Definitely needed to shield that Rock Tomb. And then running Power-Up Punch. This is over. Those Bullet Punches, unfortunately, adding up far quicker than the rollouts. And it's going to be a good game. All right, trainers, we got the next game up here. It's Bibarel against a Drapion once again, but Drapion has the edge in this matchup, being able to essentially 2-shot with Crunch. Now, the opponent is going to stay in to throw a move here, but the Wormadam swaps in to take the brunt of this damage as the safe switch. The opponent making a very nice catch, but it's Iron Head. They would have taken neutral anyway. We're not throwing bug damage in this. Nope, not at this Drapion. Absolutely not. But this is their answer to the Gastrodon. They're going to be able to get the 2 Iron Heads in this matchup. And that is actually really nice for the Metal Sound Wormadam, getting a Force Shield advantage and set up Bibarel for a nice little farm down to be able to use the energy up against the Drapion. However, Drapion very likely to throw, or not the Drifblim here, is very likely to just throw Icy Winds here to make it so that the Bibarel doesn't really want to throw energy. And then in comes the Drapion. Gastrodon licking his chops, says, "Hello, trainer, it's me you're looking for." They're getting fully farmed down here. Gastrodon has no chill. Will decide to shield? Will decide to shield the Aqua Tail here to keep the Gastrodon alive. That Drifblim very low on HP. They're not likely to be able to do a whole lot with it. Opponent comes in, throws the energy, and now we're mud slapping down the Drifblim. The opponent goes down to the fast moves. Gastrodon loaded on energy. It's the opponent's Gastrodon in the back, going for this Water Pulse, trying to get it down into a range where a Hyper Fang might be enough here. Bibarel still waiting in the back. Gonna look to bank the energy and go for the Surf here. Surf is pretty much which, I mean, I think Hyper Fang is, it looks like it's the same energy or different, but the opponent decides to let it go. Had it been Hyper Fang, that might have been enough. I believe it does a little bit more damage, but doesn't matter. Body Slam, not going to cut it. These rollouts adding up just enough, but EbbaBear is going to go for the Surf here to get the final shield, and then they have the move banked on their Gastrodon when it gets farmed down. But no, the opponent's Gastrodon goes down to the rollouts. Good game. All right, rocking out the first set with a 4-1. Nice gains, getting over 2,500. We forgot to edit out the Raichu, but that's okay. This, like, Metal Sound Wormadam so far is looking pretty solid to draw out those ghost types, especially with the pressure of Bibarel existing. It's very nice pressure and strategy for this team. Gastrodon is just goated in this format. It's like you have to run it or counter it. Next game up, though, Bibarel and the Licky Licky, very neutral. Both rollout users going straight into the Wormadam, not wasting a moment just because we have the Gastrodon in the back, which is that nice matchup. Very good timing here, noting the one-turn delay when swapping, throwing this Bug Buzz with great timing here. Opponent going to go for a charge move, probably a Shadow Ball, as most are running. Oh, they got the Earthquake, shaking the ground underneath this bug that is floating above the air, and somehow it still gets hit with Earthquake. Maybe the rocks just flew up and tucked it in the chin or something, but opponent doesn't shield. They're going to go down. Dusknoir comes in. Can we get to the Iron Head? Yes. Wormadam making it to the charge move to be able to either force a shield. The opponent decides to shield. They're not messing around with this. But the opponent's loaded. That Dynamic Punch is going to do a ton of damage to Bibarel. Gastrodon comes in and is going to be absorb the energy a lot better than taking the super effective damage. EbbaBear looking to put everything onto the Bibarel. Never mind, I lied. They're shielding the Gastrodon and going for a Body Slam bait. Trainer, we're getting cheeky out here. What do we do? Dynamic Punch does a bit of damage. Does the opponent put the value in the Dusknoir? Was his Body Slam all for nothing? It was all for nothing. The opponent leaving EbbaBear's Gastrodon in absolute shambles, putting everything else in this game now on the Bibarel. One shield, Dynamic Punch, taking it out. They were looking for the catch. Opponent comes in with the Drapion. Drapion needs 2 charge moves here to knock out, but even shields. Can this Bibarel clinch victory over this Drapion? The opponent, no shielding. No shielding. Is this it? Crunch! It's not the bait call we needed. Not going to be able to get this farm down, nor is the opponent going to allow this Bibarel to do what it needs to do to win this game. You just got to stop tapping. You got to hope they stop tapping. Opponent has 2 charge moves. Doesn't matter. It's bam, it's over. Done, signed, sealed, and delivered. Aqua Tail going to be taking out Bibarel, and that is a heartbreaking loss into the next one. Another Lucario. Oh, my word, my pain. Staying in, and the trainer. Bro, I wish I could find them with metal, with the bullet punch, man. Oh my goodness. Opponent's Lucario going for that Thunder Punch most likely. Maybe a power-up punch. Oh, the cheeky bait with the power-up punch. Very nice call. I wasn't looking. It could have been 5, and if it was only 5, then we know it was definitely just the power-up punch. Wormadam's going to come in, and the opponent has the Drifblim, but we've seen what happens here. Going for the Iron Head. Going to be able to get a shield potentially in this matchup. The opponent goes for that Shadow Ball, and it's still not going to quite be enough. Well, it might be enough at this range, but it's close enough that if the... I gotta just watch, man. Just let me watch. The Icy Wind! Trainer! Why are we Icy Winding the Wormadam? It's a Steel type. Just throw the Shadow Ball, man. Iron Head now gets the shield because the opponent throws the Icy Wind. Don't bait. Oh! No! Now the Wormadam just says it's fine, and it's still down! My god, they come in with the Lucario, the one-turn lag, allows the Wormadam the one metal sound it needs to get to the Iron Head to take out the Lucario. The opponent's Drifblim is in shambles, Vespiquen comes in, and it's going to be taking double super effective damage from the Vespiquen, or from the rollouts. Look at him go. Look at this Bibarel, the king. I love this Mon. Look at his floofy face and his chunky teeth. What a beautiful boy. And with a 2-shield advantage, there's nothing that could possibly go wrong to steer the king from his victory. Claiming this just... We're mud-slapping down the Drifblim! Oh, this is the best battle of the bunch. Oh my goodness, this is the best battle of the bunch. Man, getting him with the Shadow Ball doesn't matter though. Going for the Water Pulse. And my goodness, that was dirty, that mud slap down. was nasty. Water Pulse and the CMP. Why does Gastrodon win CMP over a literal bee? X-Scissors taking out the Gastrodon. Well, no, it's not. They undercharge, so they get some energy, but the opponent immediately concedes, knowing it is more than over. Good game. Oh, that was rough, buddy. Another Lucario. This one's got to have Force Palm, surely. Brother. I know this trainer, and they sent me two consecutive sets that they played with this team. They didn't cherry pick the battles. And even if they did, I wouldn't cherry pick battles with Lucario in it. Like, Wormadam should not function well into Lucario, and yet the opponents are just putting so much value on this Lucario that they have, and this Wormadam doesn't care. It's just like, hey, I got you off the Bibarel. I've done my job. Thunder Punch gonna leave it with 1 HP. The opponent unable to take it out. Lucario not doing enough here. And Ironhead gonna do a decent little chunk damage. Gastrodon can come in and get this farm down. Doesn't have to worry about a thing. The opponent not getting the shield this time. The opponent going for the charge move. It's just a power-up punch. Gastrodon laughs it off and slaps down Lucario into an early grave. The opponent coming in with that Spiritomb, that sick, shiny Spiritomb. Banking the move, opponent brings in the Drapion immediately, but Drapion down his shield does not function in this matchup as well as you might hope it does. However, they can cleanly live a move here. Going for the Surfs is probably the right, I don't know. They're the same energy, aren't they? Why am I worried about it? I must be thinking of the Surf of many times past before it got its energy increase, because I remember it used to be less than Hyper Fang. I think it's just been that long since I've used the King. I have desecrated his throne by not using it, and now I have to repent for my sins. We'll figure it out. Bibarel is really good, though, in this meta, for sure. Opponent comes in with that Spiritomb, looking to Rock Tomb this Gastrodon for sure. No way they go for a Shadow Ball with 2 shields up. Does this Water Pulse do enough? But surely the Mud Slaps after will do enough. Water Pulse getting them down low, and they're going to concede. That's a good game. Well played. Next game, here we go. Bibarel exerting his kingly might against his Drifblim, which is absolutely in shambles. Opponent brings in Hisui and Samurott. My hero. I love Hisui and Samurott. It's such a fun Pokemon to run. But unfortunately, the Metal Sound on Wormadam actually just killing this matchup, man. It does not do good in this matchup. Really wishing that we had the Bug Bite for this specific scenario. I will say, Metal Sound has looked impressive with the ability to bring out the ghosts and flip it or get shields, okay? I will not discount that whatsoever, but Bug Bite would go so hard right here, and you can't even change my mind. The opponent, however, being able to get to one final charge attack. Is Wormadam gonna shield? They want that second shield. Wormadam going for the Bug Buzz here. Is there an immediate switch coming? Gastrodon needs to be away from that Drifblim. Opponent looking to just go for it. Going into the Bibarel, gonna get to the Hyper Fang. Oh, the opponent brings in the Penguin. Oh no. Oh no. We have Water Pulse at least for the Drifblim, but man, this is an unfortunate matchup. Empoleon winning CMP against the Beaver. Drill Peck leaving it low. I don't know the Bibarel is going to help us anymore. It's too low, I think. Well, you could probably still get to a move against the Drifblim if you could get to it, but opponent's going to be able to get this Bibarel down just about as low as possible, but undercharges severely, trying to get that extra move, but unable to get it. Now we have Drifblim looking at us right here, square dead in the face, and the Gastrodon going for the Water Pulse, hoping to be able to two-shot with it. Almost there. Can we get there after the attack drop from? No, they're going for the Shadow Ball. Are you kidding me? Absolutely going for the Shadow Ball. Don't go for Icy Wind. This is a hard loss, unfortunately. Oof. I wonder if we put Gastrodon in the Samurott if it would have been a better situation, but unfortunately, EbbaBear sees the game as unwinnable and concedes good game. Next game, Bibarel, final battle into Drifblim. Here we go. The lead you were hoping for. Let's try to what's the word? Make up for last time. Revengeance. We look for vengeance. That's not the word I was looking for, but it fits just fine, trainers. The opponent bringing in the Drapion. Wormadam comes in right away to meet it, absorbing a move, just completely not caring about these Ice Fangs. I got Ice Fanged. I was trying Staraptor today, and I thought I was cooking, and then I got Ice Fanged, and I was like, no, are you kidding me? Why is this happening to me? So, Ice Fang, Drapion, and Hippowdon are definitely things in this format. They rough, man, but we're able to get switch advantage here to keep Bibarel on the Drifblim, which honestly by itself is just kind of a game-winning alignment to have, just because of how dominant that matchup is for Bibarel. But the opponent did force us to give up a shield, so Gastrodon gonna have to be good against whatever's in the back. They're probably using Drapion to pull out the Gastrodon safe switch, or with the safe switch, so I would expect them to have Lucario or something in the back, and they do. Lucario is not gonna have a good time. The opponent immediately concedes, knowing that their plan has been put into shambles, and they have lost, unfortunately. The Wormadam was a heads-up play, very good insight into the opponent's team. I believe that was a content creator. It was Action's team, I think. He's using a lot of Lucario. The Drifblim, Lucario core, very strong core, but Wormadam getting on the Drapion here was the way to go, and we are able to get over 2,550 elo. Very nice team. Like the Wormadam. Let me know in the comments what you think. I hope y'all enjoy the Hisui Cup. It's been a bit of hit and miss for me, but I mean, so is Ultra League right now, so I don't really know what to play. I'm just enjoying Hisui Cup for what I can until the other leagues come back. Catch you guys in the next one. Thank you as always for watching. Bye-bye.